them together, and they've got the gift of grab.
Welcome, welcome, Grabber Gang, to a new episode of The Gift of Grab. We are here with Leong. He is Alberta's finest strongman and grip competitor, and he was nice enough to sit and chat with us today. So welcome, Kwai.
Here on this bright, early Saturday morning. We've had to move things around for a few different things, and so definitely appreciate you.
Yes.
Working with us on all that stuff. So
my pleasure.
Yes, thank you. I'm still a little bit sniffly, but I think I can make do. So let's crank it out. Introduce yourself, kind of tell our audience anything you would like them to know before we get into our rapid fire questions.
My name's Kwai. I'm up here in Edmonton, Alberta, frozen north. Not really a whole lot to say. Don't come from a prestigious athletic background. I started training 4 years ago. Started grip training 2 years ago. So
you started training in general 4 years ago, like strongman and everything?
Yeah, basically. So I was coming up to my 40th birthday and kind of had a bit of a midlife crisis, I guess. And thought I should do something, and it was kind of the height of COVID, and I needed to do something. So I found the local strongman community and started training that. And
wow,
yeah.
I mean, you've done a lot of really good stuff with it in just that time. Sorry, I know we have actual questions and stuff planned out, but I'm very curious about that because what do you do for work? What did you do before that? Why are you strong already?
Yeah.
And, that's nuts.
Right? How did we make the jump of 4 years to being Alberta's strongest and all these?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I wouldn't say I'm Alberta's strongest, but no. So I grew up on a farm back in Ontario, and a very manual labor intensive type of farm. And then I was a heavy duty mechanic for almost 20 years. So that's kind of where I got my grip from.
That'll do it. Yeah. That was one of the things I noticed when we watched, we went 2 years ago to the Arnold and just watched all the competing and stuff there. And the thing that my friend and I commented on was it looks like all these guys just rolled off the job site and just stepped up on stage. They're in jeans and boots and stuff. And it's you can tell that most of the people who are really good at this are either climbers or tradesmen. The bigger guys are usually tradesmen of some sort just because they're just working with their hands all the time. So anyway, the heavy duty mechanic makes sense, but
that's what we're doing wrong, Will.
I know
we don't have we don't have that same background.
Got soft hands. I never worked a day in my life.
I wouldn't know what hard days work. Anyway, here we go again. No, I mean, so strongman, grip competitor, strength sports, just kind of recent since COVID. So the last, 4 years, and you've really took a shine to it. I mean, that's pretty incredible, actually, just kind of a rise like that. But with your background, it certainly makes sense, certain things. So we're going to get right into our questions. We like to learn about our guests and kind of keep them off guard with these. So if you need a minute, that's fine. Some of them are weird, but we kind of keep it grip related to the most part. Now, you're on a show like The Amazing Race. So a lot of, I don't know if you're familiar with the show, but you're pretty much traveling around doing kind of competitions in a certain timeline and getting to certain areas, keeping cool under pressure. Which grip athlete are you picking to help you accomplish those tasks and make it to the end?
Ooh, that is a good question. And this one's hard to answer just because I do have very limited time in the sport. And I'm so far away from pretty much everyone that I don't really have a lot of exposure or relationships with the community.
That's all right.
So I guess to answer that, I would probably say, it's a tough one.
Yeah.
I mean, you're up there with Ian, right? Ian.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Ian and Jess.
He does a lot a lot of strongman stuff, he's probably good at. He
It
seems
can
pretty
be
athletic.
strictly vibes too. Like somebody you know
All vibes.
primarily from online, or you met briefly at the Arnold, like go-to guy or girl.
Yeah, I think I would probably pick Trey out of Montreal. Actually, he seems like a really like handy guy. I don't know. I've only met him and competed with him once, but
Somebody that could get you through a challenging time or a stressful, time constraints. I think that's I saw that question asked on a different podcast. I was like, oh, that's interesting. I don't know who I would pick, so I wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, that's good. I ask this one of everybody just because I like music, and I think it's an important part of my life, and so I'm always curious to see more about other people and their music stuff. So, the walk up song, like if you had walk up music for the Arnold or the Olympia or whatever, what would your song be?
interestingly enough, I knew just based on your other episodes that this question was coming, but I did. I couldn't really think of it. I couldn't really think of a song, but maybe a New Noise by Refused, just because I love that song. It hypes me up, and
Nice.
I'm the new guy. Well, I guess not anymore, but
I'd still say that relatively, right? That's good.
I think under 2 years is fair because
Yeah.
I've been my 2-year anniversary technically was June, but like I still feel incredibly new because there's like a million things I've never even touched or seen, let alone in a competition. So I feel you on that. I think Will's in the same boat. Like we're passionate about it, but
Yeah.
we're by no means experts. So
Yep. Basically, just intake as much of the internet drama as I can so that I know who the people are and I know enough of what's going on in the sport to where I sound like I've been doing this a while. So, yeah, it's good.
yeah. Well, let's talk the last few competitions or bigger competitions you've done. You've done the Olympia, you've done the Arnold. Who was one competitor you were excited to meet or like pumped to compete against or with? Like, were any of them on your radar prior to the contest?
yeah, I mean, obviously, it was a dream to meet and compete with Ode. I mean, I think anyone in the community would agree with that. Who hasn't had the pleasure. And yeah, honestly, I was just happy to be there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was I guess unexpected. Just a real quick, like, I did one local grip comp and then the Super Series, and then I was at the Olympia, and it was just I don't know,
Yeah,
kind of
that's quick.
Yeah, like a leap into the deep end. I mean, I think that's so exciting because it's like, okay, I'm going to try this out. Oh, I got a knack for it. I'm pretty good at it. Okay, and then the next thing you know, Ricardo's like, hey, why don't you come down to Orlando and try your hand against the best in the country in the world? And I mean, were any of we like to ask our guests of not like a ton of dramatic questions, but like we get a little spicy. Did anyone like, you don't have to say names, but like, did anyone kind of let you down? Kind of the whole don't meet your heroes thing. Was anyone kind of not who you thought they would be? Again, you don't have to name names, but did anyone disappoint you?
Honestly, no, not at all. The entire
Good.
grip community has been nothing but welcoming and supportive, and that's kind of what I love about it. Is I haven't experienced that yet, and I hopefully it's not ever.
Yeah, no, and grip compared to strongman, especially in my eyes, has been a similar experience. Like there's no, for the most part, anyway.
I feel like it's interesting too, because grip is still, I almost call it like strongman light, right? Like we're the early stages of development and growth and stuff, and so like the people who are the big names, for the most part, don't know they're the big names. Like, you can talk to anybody online. You can go up to like all these guys, like, yeah, come say hi, do whatever. Like, you don't have these guys who have like hundreds of thousands of followers and people everywhere, and so they don't recognize that they're the big names, and they're the ones that everyone wants to talk to. So for the most part,
I think even the ones that do, like, I mean, I've got to meet and compete with Eric numerous times, and he's just the most humble dude.
yeah, he's super nice
and helpful, and and he is arguably one of the biggest names in grip, right? So yeah,
and his name is said 8 different ways depending on who you talk to. So his last
that's
name.
true.
So
how do you say it?
Rousson.
Oof. I like it.
I don't know. That's how I say it in my head all the time. So, just because I like to go hard, you gotta do it. That was actually one of my questions was about in your Instagram bio, you've got like 4 different flags, like national. I'm assuming that's kind of your nationality or your heritage and stuff like that. So it was like Canadian, Chinese, German, and something else, right?
Scottish, yeah.
Scottish. Okay, yeah. So, are those all, or are those like the important ones to you? Like where like you feel some draw to those, and how does that?
The important ones.
I'm like, I don't know. Like I'm like
These
German,
are my
Irish,
favorite
Scottish,
4.
right? Well, everyone's got like 1,000. At least here, everyone's got like 1,000, and so you pick them up. So
that's a great question, actually. And I'm actually 1% Irish, so I'm gonna identify as Irish from now on. But
there you go. Yeah, you got to throw that one in there.
So I'm actually first generation Canadian. My dad was born in China. I'm half Chinese, and then my mom was first gen, and her parents were German and Scottish. So that's kind of why, like obviously I'm Canadian, but that's why I kind of celebrate those, because it's like, really close to, I'm not one of those guys that, I joked about a minute ago, like, oh, I'm 3% Irish, so, or, just not pick on the Irish, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what that's about.
Nice. So does that influence how you view any of your training, or do you do any like Highland Games stuff as well? Have you looked into any of that, or carrying how many steins you can, or?
It's interesting that you ask, and I've been wanting to do Highland Games. I wanted to try Highland Games before I even started training strongman. And there is a Highland Game community in this city. I just haven't pursued it.
Well, Hailing is all about that, so.
Sorry? Oh, yeah.
No, I mean, I have connections. I can set you up with some Canadian throwers in your area, probably. There's actually a few websites. I'll message you privately after that, like that kind of show where the athletes are and where they train, and it kind of maps it out for at least for North America. So it's a pretty good resource. I'll send you the link afterwards.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Can you send me the link too? Because
you want to do it?
Well, I'm building something like that for Grip. So I've got my own side project on that. So I'd like to see what other people have put together and maybe get some inspiration from there. So
no problem.
Cool. That's a cool idea.
Can do.
Thanks, pal.
All right. What is your current training looking like right now? Are you still like focused on both? Are you ramping up with like grip specific right now because the Super Series Stage 2 is next, or have you already completed that? I don't know. I guess it is the second weekend in August, and a lot of comps have already happened. But what are you focusing on right now, Kwai?
So I actually have it's kind of a bit of a longer answer, actually. So the reason I even started in grip in the first place is because I injured my knee doing strongman, and so that kind of took me out, right? So currently I have, I'll say, my kind of first strongman show back on the 31st of August. So I've been mostly training for that, with sprinkling in some grip training for the Super Series, which mine is next weekend. So
okay,
nice,
yeah.
What's your, I guess, do you like the implements for Stage 2? Or, yeah.
Does anyone? No. I don't know. I don't know if I've
those
ever
fat
met
grips
anyone that
get
likes the
everybody.
fat grips. Yeah.
Yeah.
But rolling handles are actually probably one of my weaker implements, which kind of sucks because they're everywhere. Of course.
They're everywhere. Yeah. Everything spins. There's like, yeah. I feel like
I
there's a cool like
agree.
funhouse idea for that. You have like a grip funhouse, and you have to escape, but everything you touch rolls, and it's like I can't get a grip on anything. Anyway,
That would be nightmare fuel. I would not like every handle just rolls and spins away from you and you can't get out. No.
I see. Every so often I'll see someone post like doing pull-ups with their
they're
rolling
rolling.
handles or country crush. I'm like, holy cow!
Yeah.
It's
Bonkers.
it's always the skinny light ones.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
Definitely that I have.
it's not anyone 80 kgs and up. I mean, well, female at least, definitely not. But like men, I don't know. I only see like the climber types doing them. I don't know. Will, when are you gonna post one?
Yeah, it's any time now. I do them all the time. I do sets of 20.
Nice.
On my RGT. So really not a struggle for this guy, but
you're just gate keeping that. You want to keep it under the vest.
I don't want to make anyone feel too bad about themselves. There's so many things on social media where everyone's just like, oh man, I wish I could do that. And this is one of those things that I obviously and 100% truthfully can really do. I'm really good at it. And yep, not true, but it's fine. But yeah, so what's your favorite thing to do in grip? What's your favorite part of grip?
Favorite part or favorite implement?
We'll go with implement first and then part after. We'll make it a 2 thing.
Yeah, it's cool. Favorite implement is Saxon, only because it's so terribly hard and almost everyone hates it.
Yeah.
And that just makes me love it. Just because I train it. I try to train it as hard as I can just to be better.
What's your best Saxon so far?
Well, I mean, gym lifts don't count, right? So
Yeah.
No, I think they
out there,
count.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So on the 2x5, I've gotten 246 here at home. The 3x4, on the other hand, 221 or 220. We'll say 220.
Nice.
I'm surprised you're giving us pounds. You're giving us freedom units and not kilograms.
We like to use all sorts of different units of measurement up here, right?
Sure.
For distance, we use time. Like how far of Calgary? It's about 3 hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, everything's so spaced out up there. You got to do it that way, otherwise, you're like,
yeah. Time and landmarks. Is
that
how
makes sense.
I've gotten used to kilometers, like driving. I'm always in Canada, but like getting gas in Canada still like throws me for a loop. I'm like always trying to convert like, okay, is this a good price? No, I need it. I don't care. Yeah. At this point,
does it matter? I still have to get it.
Yeah. Well, or just a little bit to cross the bridge. No, should I just fill up instead? Yeah. That's the only part that I hate, but, let's see. Will, you asked the last question, right? Or was that like a offshoot to mine, kind of?
Well, that was the question, but I did want to ask about the favorite part of grip as well, besides just the implement.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, I think just competing, the opportunity to travel, which actually is a positive and a negative for me, to be honest. It's being so far away and it's so expensive, but
you have to travel.
I have to travel, yeah. But yeah, just meeting everyone and like I said, being a part of the community, because it's a very positive community that I'm proud to be a part of.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one for sure.
Very complimentary. All right. Well, I guess this is kind of like Will's question. I was just kind of like changing it up a bit. So I'm gonna throw a random in there. It was about music, but screw that. So if you could, if there was a documentary made about let's say Grip at the Arnold, who would you want to narrate it?
Oh man, that's a good one.
I mean, obviously Morgan Freeman.
Right?
Or
Like
Richard
Dave
Attenborough.
yeah.
Or David Attenborough.
David Attenborough.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. Not Jurassic Park, right?
he might be too
Yeah.
serious, but
Yeah.
I think Morgan Freeman, I was gonna say Sigourney Weaver myself.
Oh,
but
man.
like
No, that'd
I
be
think
good.
all
She did
three of
Planet
them.
Earth, right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
All
I think that'd be really good.
The top three.
Yeah. I like to narrate random things around my house as David Attenborough. It's just really fun. The kids are, throwing each other around or whatever, and it's just like, you'll see the smaller one starts to scream. And
That's amazing.
It's really fun. So as he gets older, it gets more fun. But
I should
Yeah.
start doing that. I have 2 teenagers. They would definitely get really annoyed really quickly. So.
yeah, you should just while they're doing nothing, just sit there with them and then just start narrating whatever it is they're doing. And he's like, would you stop?
Yeah, I love
One
it.
of them seems perturbed. And then I think it'd be really a lot of fun.
New way to embarrass your teenagers unlocked on this week's episode of The Gift of Grab. Oh my gosh.
Appreciate it, Will.
Yep. Hey, we're here for the people. So that's it. I had a strongman-ish question.
Sure.
And this is, I don't even know if this is a real concern in the whole community or not. It was just around the time that World's Strongest Man was going on and stuff. There was a lot, at least online, people talking about kind of the downfall of World's Strongest Man compared to the Shaw Classic now kind of having the top strongman honors, I guess, in terms of, or other strongman competitions. Which do you think that's a legitimate thing there? Do you think World's Strongest Man has kind of fallen off here in recent years with other stuff coming up, or do you think it's still got the prestige that it always has?
It still has the prestige for sure, but definitely people are kind of looking to other major competitions like the Rogue, Shaw, Arnold's because of the instant gratification via live streaming, right?
Sure.
The promoters of World's Strongest Man, I think, button hook themselves by signing a ridiculous TV contract. I think is why they won't live stream, but
Yeah.
obviously I don't have any inside information on that. But yeah, I think as a competition itself, it still holds. It's still held in high regard, definitely. But
Nice.
as for an audience perspective, I think people are kind of looking to other competitions to
Yeah.
satisfy their needs.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot coming out, and everyone's kind of got their own spin on it and stuff, and trying to make it, make it big and make it a spectacle and have fun with it too. So
Yeah.
All right, Quentin, you have a competition tomorrow, strongman, grip, whatever it is. What are 2 non-essential items you must have with you? So there's nothing to do with athletics, not like tape, not a wrist wrap, nothing, non-essential, what can you not compete without? Because I feel like we all at least have something. It can be food, it can be a token, whatever.
Definitely energy drinks.
Yep.
Just because, I need a lot of them.
drink of choice.
Yeah, which one do you prefer?
So that's a tough question to answer because we don't get the good flavors up here.
Oh.
Actually, funny sidebar, if you don't mind. So
Not at all. We
when
love
I came
them.
down, I came down to the Olympia. That was my very first, huge anything, right? And I wasn't prepared for all the free samples. So my wife and I almost never check a bag when we travel. We travel to Bali with a backpack. You know what I mean? Because checking bags sucks. No one likes it. But
Yeah.
so I did not check a bag going to Orlando. But I got so many free energy drinks that I had to purchase a suitcase and check it on the way home just to bring them all home because the flavors we don't get.
They're just so much better. Yeah.
That's amazing. No,
That's really funny.
And the caffeine content here is more than Canada because every time Like I'm in
Really?
Ontario constantly and it's way less. So I'm like, oh, I'm getting a rain or like a rain fuel or whatever, or Celsius even. And like,
Are they
so for,
capped?
yeah, so like for our 200 milligrams, say for like your normal Celsius, theirs is like 120, maybe
Oh,
130. So
like
it's less. And then you're like,
that
I don't
conversion
feel
rate is
as hyper as I should. What's going on?
man.
My
Yeah, I
heart's
think
not jumping out of my chest enough.
we're maxed at I think 180, whereas the rains, for instance, in the U.S. are 300, right? So
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we got
it's
we got the good stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
What I've
Liquid
got
speed.
what I've
we're
got in
lame up here.
here is I've been buying the Alani energy like drink packets.
Oh yeah.
And those because I got those at the Arnold, and I was like, oh, these are actually really good. And yeah, that's my I feel like I've talked about this a bunch of times, but like that's my one complaint about the Arnold now is that like everyone just gives out energy drinks. Like, you know, the first time I ever went was back in 2008, and it was like everyone gave out, you know, full size like protein samples. You got a ton of protein. You get pre-workout like mixes. Like you just got loaded up with actual samples of stuff. And now it's all energy drinks. Like you can and I can never bring them all back with me because I don't check a bag. So I
Yeah,
Yeah.
at the Arnold, I actually have a pile of protein and Alani energy packets and stuff like that I did find. So
nice. Yeah, I swooped by the Alani booth like at least once a day while we were there this year
yeah,
because like I was like, all right, I got to get my.
Hey,
They had
me
some really
again.
good gummies. Yeah.
yeah.
Hey guys, it's me. I know I've been here before. Can I get more gummy bears? Those are really good.
The
How
first
do you
time I
feel
did
about
that,
sponsoring your first grip athlete?
Hey
so
guys.
the first time I did that, like went back to the same booth in the same day. I was like super nervous. I was like, oh, they're gonna give me shit for coming back.
They don't
But
care.
no, they don't.
They have no idea.
Those
They will
That's so
not
many people.
remember.
yeah. Yeah. You got to make sure you don't make an impression. You know, that's all it
What I
is.
do best.
Yep. Just sink quietly into the shadows. You know, that's what they like to see.
Yeah.
Sir, don't bother me.
Unfortunately, I'm very tall with
Hmm.
a lot of hair and like I'm hard to miss, so I like slouch a little bit, put my hoodie
Hey,
up.
wait, you're the hunchback. You've been here
Yeah,
before.
me
Wait a
again. It's me. Look away. You go to a different person. They don't remember me. I'm going to them next.
Yeah.
We should do a post about how to play the system at the Olympia or the Arnold
That's a good
to
idea.
maximize your free samples.
Yes.
Love that. I
Number
love
one,
that.
don't go on Saturday. Yeah. Nice.
So energy drinks, was there anything
Oh, yeah.
else? Like, is there any snack or any like a teddy bear, anything?
I mean,
Like
yeah,
Linus's
the
blankie or
6-foot teddy bear. Right? No, to be perfectly honest, I haven't really been around long enough to have any like what do you call it?
like rituals or
Yeah, exactly. Like you know what I mean. So I just kind of show up and do what I need to do and think about things that I should have done after the fact.
Hindsight's always 2020.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
like
yeah, I'm still learning and stuff. But
yeah, superstitious. Just a little stitious.
Just, yeah, just a little stitch. Just a little stitch.
I don't
Just a
wash
little
my underwear
stitches.
for 2 weeks prior.
I wear the same ones all week.
Inside and
Nice.
out.
Yeah, you got 4 sides. It's fine.
Will, did you have any other questions?
I do, but it's more of a segment.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah. So I don't know if you want to ask any more
yeah,
of yours, but
yeah. I just have one more. Like, do you think Alberta is going to overthrow
Ooh.
on Ontario as the new Canadian grip powerhouse province?
Oh.
Because you guys have a lot of talent out there. They have a lot of talent in Ontario. That's
That's a good question, and depending and I need to answer it in a way that's not going to start a war.
no, you don't.
No,
No,
you
I don't.
don't. Give it
Someone
to us.
someone asked us originally if we had the guts to say what needed to be said on this podcast,
Yes.
and this is it. This is our opportunity.
These are the hard-hitting questions.
No, no. In all actuality, no. There's so much talent and experience in Ontario, especially in the Ottawa area, as you guys know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just they kind of I think have the hold in that regard.
Who else
Yeah.
out in your area besides you?
So myself,
Alberta?
so Ian and Jess, Michelle down in Calgary. A lot of the pro strongmen are ridiculous, but they're obviously doing the strongman thing right now. So, but if they did show up to a competition, it would be sad for everyone else.
Yeah.
Over for the rest of us. Yeah.
Especially guys like Tristan Hoth, Larson,
Oh.
like they both are wildly
Yeah.
strong, especially with their grip. So
Yeah,
Nice.
Hoth will be at the Shaw Classic, I think. I saw. Yeah, he did phenomenal at World's Strongest Man this year. So that's, I think, like the whole Shaw versus World's Strongest Man versus Arnold versus Rogue. I think they all kind of grab different strongmen too. Like who's more entertaining, like. That Evan Singleton, like he'll show up because he puts on a good show. He's not necessarily the best, yet, but he's always invited because he always puts on a good show and he's always entertaining to watch. So I think grip will, it's growing right now. It's kind of still in its infancy, even though it's been around for a long time. It's just, like kind of exploding, and Ricardo's doing a good job with the travel and kind of putting it on the map in different locations. So as soon as we do get strongman competitors kind of gravitating over, it's going to be over for the rest of us, and we'll just be we'll just be fans.
I do have like a dream, a plan of and I mean, and Ian and Jess do a great job of attracting new athletes to grip sport. Like that. Well, they're the reason I'm in it in the first place too, right?
Yeah.
But I kind of wanted to either work with them or do my own thing and just grow it even more and get more sanctioned contests here in Alberta. And just try to get that presence. So to answer your question, no, I don't think Alberta will take over from Ontario in that regard, but I do want to grow us significantly.
Yeah. Eric does have a chokehold with just kind of training and finding these people. But I mean, Ian and Jess are doing a great job. I know some of the Masters women out that way are kind of always represented. Connie and Henriette and so I think it's exciting. They're at least like making it more accessible to women, which of course I love. And
I think Michelle's doing a great job of that down in Calgary too, right? Like
absolutely she is. So thank you for that. Shout out to the ladies. And Will, you had a segment you said, so like a whole a whole deal.
So,
okay.
It's only because we have Kwai here, and so this is a play on Kwai,
Nice.
and I have a segment called Kwai Pigeons,
No.
where these are going to be a series of rapid fire yes or no single, not necessarily yes or no, but like some of them are yes or no, some of them are just like single answer, like you just got a first thing that comes to your mind kind of question, and then when you're ready for the next one you say pull, and then that's what triggers it.
Oh, I love that. No, Kwai.
All right, so Kwai Pigeons, here we go. All right.
Pull.
Axel or Saxon?
Axel. Pull.
If you had to name your kid after an implement, what would it be?
Moontop.
Oh, that's a good one.
Wait, don't you have the record?
No, not officially. Again, that's a gym lift, unfortunately.
Well, I saw it, so I'm going to say congrats. Yeah. So unofficially, whatever. Good job. All right, go. Sorry, as you were, gentlemen.
Okay. Was the moon landing staged?
Yes.
Ooh. Pizza or tacos?
Tacos. Pull.
Jacob or Edward?
Bella's dad. Pull.
Perfect.
Amazing. Yes. Charlie Swan.
Yeah. Love it. All right.
That's
Did
the right
General Lee-
answer.
Oh.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Did General Lee's Civil War strategy of aggressive offensive campaigns, such as the invasions of the North, aim to compensate for the Confederacy's resource limitations, despite the significant risks of overextending his forces and weakening long-term Southern defense?
No. Pull.
Love it. Should Ricardo go by Ricky Baby?
Oh, yes. Pull.
There we go. All right. That's all. That's it. You've exhausted him. 100%. You'd knocked them all out of the sky. Good work.
Amazing. He did not falter once.
That was perfect.
I'm sorry for my interruption.
That was an exciting event, you know?
Yeah. Well, no, what is your favorite war, Kwai? We
What is your favorite war?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I'm not as adept at history as some others, so but I would have to say whatever war Genghis Khan was doing for his reign.
Nice.
cool.
good.
He actually did quite a bit of positive things aside from all the negative things for the world. So
Yep. I like that. There's that Instagram meme or something that somebody went around. It was like, the waiter comes by, says, "How is everything?" I say, "Oh, it's great." And then the waiter looks disgusted and says, "Even war?" And that just like every time I see it, it gets me. It gets me so
I love
good.
that.
Yeah.
Every time somebody says Genghis Khan, I think of that song. Do you know the
Gangnam
song?
Style?
No, he's like, I get a little bit Genghis Khan. No,
I'm not
like,
familiar.
oh my God,
Nope.
it's like, it was a huge like alternative hit like a few years back. Anyway,
I get a little bit Genghis Khan.
yeah, I get a little bit
I'm gonna have to
Genghis Khan.
Yeah.
Want
that,
you to
yeah.
get it on with nobody else but me. And
Nope.
nobody else but me. Oh my God, I'm going to send it to you both. Okay.
Thank you.
Because I'm gonna mess it up bad. So
I also
Kwai-
do love learning about the world wars, but I just don't really know a lot about them enough to have them as favorites.
yeah.
That's
Well,
That's
I
fair.
made the mistake. Like I thought for some reason Will and I discussed wars, maybe our first episode, like the get to know you episode, but I mentioned World War II being my favorite, and I for some reason in my head thought he said the Civil War, but maybe he was just cracking a joke, as Will does. So
I honestly don't remember saying that, and I don't know that I've ever thought about my favorite war before.
yeah, like I don't know,
It's a tough
but
question.
like
I'm a pacifist.
I've been boning up on my Civil War the last few weeks, and like just trying to have more stuff to talk about. And turns out he never said that, and I don't know how it got into my head. So
Just in case things go south, we have the Civil War to talk about. Hey, huh?
the
Yeah,
South
not
will
bad.
rise again.
Yikes.
Ew. Anyway,
Ew.
probably definitely not.
We'll get one of these. Ooh.
Moving right along. We like to do questions from our audience, as you've seen. If anyone follows us on our Instagram page, we just kind of post a story asking questions that sometimes we get random ones, don't really apply, but mostly they're great. So Grace Van Hoy asks, if you had to extreme grip battle showdown with an animal, what animal would it be?
I wonder if this question means an animal that I know I could just decimate, or one that I would have to struggle and make a good show out of.
A worthy adversary.
Yeah. A worthy adversary. Oh, this is a good question because most animals are ridiculously strong. So,
And most of them don't have opposable thumbs, so getting
fair.
around a bar would be tough. But are we assuming that animals could have human hands?
Yeah.
And then There's
So
this
many
freaky
places
looking
there's
lion
like
that walks up there and just like.
I don't know, like a sloth. All they do is hang, so they probably have great grip.
All they do is win, 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 no matter what.
All,
no matter what.
a grizzly
Okay,
bear.
I mean, I would probably compete against a black bear. Grizzly bear would own me, and he's in a different weight class.
Yeah.
And black bears are very common in your neck of the woods. So
So, yeah.
if it's
a good one.
black, fight back. If it's brown, lay down. That's the ticket, right?
Is that a bear thing?
Yeah,
No, okay.
isn't it? I don't know.
We don't
And
have
bear
bears. We
spray,
have-
bear mace. Out.
we got
well, like,
gators.
In actuality, in the wilderness, if I encountered a bear, I don't think it would matter if it was black or brown. I'd probably try to exit
Pet
the
it.
situation.
Yeah.
East.
sorry, sir. I'll just head this way.
Just back away slowly.
Nice.
All right.
I can do the one. We had one from Ryan Grabowski, Grabs Grip. He is asking, when are you getting into steel bending? And when will you compete in SK? Is that Saskatchewan?
Yes, that's the
Okay.
schedule.
All right. I don't know a lot about Canada, I'm gonna be honest. So I'm just taking guesses.
So, steel bending, I think we were actually supposed to get together and do that. So, whenever that happens. I bent my very first piece of steel actually down in Calgary during the Stampede with Ryan.
Nice.
It's hard. I expected it to be, but I didn't expect it to be as hard as it actually is.
What were you bending?
I don't know, to be honest. Maybe he can comment on that.
I'm pretty good with tinfoil.
Yeah.
That's my niche.
A thin rod of aluminum.
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect for me.
And as for Saskatchewan, I mean, I haven't seen any grip-specific comps in Saskatchewan yet, but there is one coming up in Manitoba that I would love to go to. Yeah, I mean, that's another travel, right? And
Another hike for you. Yeah.
large country, and so unfortunately, sometimes it just doesn't work out. But I would love to, spread out my competing throughout Canada as well, for sure.
Do you have plans to attend the Olympia in October?
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
As long as I don't completely shit the bed in stage 2, I should get the invite. So.
Nice.
But yeah, that's on my plan.
All right. Hannah Lewandowski asks, if you could do one grip lift for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Yeah, probably Saxon. Yeah,
Just
I just like it.
yeah. Like I have a love-hate relationship with Saxon bar. Like I hate it because I'm bad at it, but I'm almost like obsessed with like trying to get better. So like in turn I love training it because it is a weakness for me, and it's like, okay, let's try to get better, and like even incrementally, because like 1 kilo at a time is just so gratifying with that lift, because it's just, you add one and it's glued to the floor and it doesn't move, and it just destroys your fingers. So I agree.
I wish I felt that way with rolling handles, to be honest. But
Yeah, like I'm gonna conquer you, and but it's like, no, I don't like you at all. I'm gonna keep you right there.
Yep, just tucked away off to the side.
Well, that's how I am with strongman. Like I will absolutely say no to contests, like if they don't have stones or if they don't have like a load or a carry event, and I'm like, okay, nope, I'm not. I'm gonna pass because my favorites aren't here, and that's the beauty of strongman, at least, is that it is now so big that there are a lot of contests, every season, so you can kind of pick and choose. But with grip, it's like, it is what it is. You got to come out if you want to do it, and there's only 3 or 4, and if it's GSI, maybe more. But that's the trouble. All right.
Yep.
We have one more or two more. Oh yeah, we have two more.
I think we got a few.
Yeah. Sam Horn asks, how do you juggle strongman training with specific grip work on the implements?
That is a good question. I have a coach, a strongman coach, right? And so we've basically added some wrist and arm exercises to the strongman training. Plus, if there's a contest coming up, implement specific training as well. A combination of like reps and maxes, or RPEs and stuff like that. So basically, we just add to the strongman training some extra stuff. I don't know if that's the right move or not, but I mean,
yeah. So like in addition to your primary strength training, you just kind of pepper in the grip work with it. Like you don't have like specific grip days. It's just kind of together with everything else you're already doing.
Right, exactly. And then
Yeah.
on the off days, I'm doing the excisors and stuff like that, right? So
Okay, perfect.
Nice. We had one other question from Megan Garoppolo, Dr. Honey Muscle, and she is asking. She said, "Why is he going to be at the forefront of wearing jorts in grip?"
because I was asked to.
Yeah. Yep. Love
You
the
know,
style.
I mean, it's there is a couple competitors here locally in Edmonton who compete in strongman in jorts, but I don't think there's any. We don't think there's any grip athletes currently. So
Not in jorts, yeah.
So
guess
you're gonna be the one.
You got to be the
That's my
guy.
yeah, I'm gonna try.
Awesome.
I
But they
actually
have to be
love that.
the uneven 1980s cutoffs though, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like physically hand cut.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
With like the like threads hanging down and
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yep.
Tickling your knees, or you don't know
Yeah.
what it is, and you're just constantly. I love it.
That's what I have in my mind anyway. So I guess
Jorts
I
are
guess
the new compression pants.
we'll see in Vegas.
Love it. That's good. I think
Yes,
that was all from the audience, right? Or do we have any more?
It is all for the audience, but I mean, I do have a ton of questions. I mean, if we need to, if you guys are enjoying ourselves,
Yeah.
if you were to write an autobiography, Kwai, what would the title be?
That's a good question. I don't know how to answer that. I'm not gonna,
It is. I mean, it is kind
The
of a
long
weird
quay
one.
home.
The long quay.
You know what? That's perfect,
The right
actually.
quay.
I love that. Oh, those are both like gold, actually.
This is actually a side gig that we do. We help people come up with names for their autobiographies. So this was kind of a self-plug for our side business. So
I think
Side quest.
that's so awesome. Anyway, thanks for answering my question for me.
All right. Well, yeah. One more rando. Then you find $200 cash on the ground, but you have to spend it on a grip implement. Which one like is on your radar that you don't have yet, or which one you want a new one of, or what would you put it towards?
Ooh. Yeah, probably a new Saxon. So I actually built my own Saxons.
nice.
And so I can't use them in any sort of competition, of course. So probably a name brand Saxon bar,
Yeah.
which actually $200 wouldn't even cover shipping. But anyway, that's a whole different story. Which is why I
Yep.
built my own.
Yep.
I know.
Which brand would you go for? Do you know? Do you have?
I don't know. Probably,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. I haven't
There's
really
so
thought
many
about
out there. It's
Yeah.
I have one from Arm Assassin, and he like coats his stuff in like kind of like a grippy paint, which I love because you go to a contest and of course it's not there, but like at least in training I can feel pretty good about myself. And
So,
I painted mine with a gloss paint to make it harder.
oh, sure, yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got to.
Actually, maybe you can see them back there. There it is, beside my log.
Oh, cool.
Oh, very nice.
My 3x4 anyway, yeah.
Nice.
Did you do the log too?
No, I purchased that. That's a Valkyrie log. Yeah.
Okay. Just all the same color coordinated implements?
Yep. Tiffany blue and orange
Well-
is my jam.
That's what I do. I order a lot of stuff from Nemesis, and I always just, at this point, just say, do the Nimrod blue, and he knows what I mean. So I've got my crimp plate and my Saxon bar from them, and they're both painted. So
Nice. I actually I have a rolling thumber and a finished ball. Well, not finished ball, but whatever. Finished ball equivalent coming.
finished Canadian ball.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so I'm not sure. I asked for like a Tiffany blue adjacent to orange, but give them creative license. So we'll see what they look like. I'm excited. They arrive on Monday, I think. So.
Nice. I'm looking at one of the ball, just the ball implements or whatever that he has, and I'm contemplating because like we used a totally raw steel Sorinex Saxon bar at stage 1, and kind of learning more about the sport and about all that kind of stuff. Like rust ends up playing a pretty good part in how grippy something can get and how well chalk takes to it and all that stuff. So I'm like, I want to keep going with my Nimrod blue theme, but like at the same time, like, well, maybe if I got like a raw steel, ball, because you can get all the Nemesis stuff raw if you want to too. And so I'm like, maybe I'll mess around with a raw one this time. Just no coating, just straight up steel.
It is night and day
Steel,
different,
baby. Yeah.
My 2x5 is raw steel. I didn't paint that one.
Yeah.
So.
I liked it at stage 1. Thought it was good.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
All right.
Speaking of stage 1, are we good to go into kind of some of the upcoming events now, or is there anything else?
Kwai,
that we
you
wanted
said
to...
yours was next weekend.
Yep.
So before a grip contest, like how long before do you just stop doing anything grip related? Do you take the whole week off? Like, are you done now?
No, I'm going to. I got today. I'm training right after this call, and then Tuesday I'll do some strongman stuff, but go easy on the grip stuff.
Yeah.
Usually about a week. I'll work on excisors and things like that, and like go get a nice arm massage a couple days prior. So
Nice.
yeah,
Treat
Ooh.
yourself.
treat myself.
I know. Yeah. I never, I got to do something like that, like the scraping or the massage, or just get the tendons ready to go. I think that's.
Yeah.
My kids are small enough that they've still got those bony little heels, and so I just have them walk on my
Nice.
arms, and it's perfect. It's great. My own little service right there.
I can't do that. My one teenager is 220 pounds, so it would hurt a little bit.
Yeah, it might be a little more than you're looking for on that, but yeah. It looks like there's a few coming up here this weekend for stage 2. The ones that are listed here, there's one there's the Shaw Classic, which is not obviously stage 2, but there's Shaw Classic happening next weekend on the 17th and 18th. And then we've got, no, there's not really a ton listed on the OnLifting USA website, but I know there's one happening in Indiana next weekend for stage 2. Because my boy Jake is competing in that one. I'm assuming it's somewhere or maybe he's going to Kentucky. Yikes. We got to get the site updated. But yeah, so somewhere in the general middle of the country there's going to be at least one. And we've got the one in Charlotte coming up on the 24th. So if you're in the Charlotte area or, upstate South Carolina, whatever, I know we've got one happening there. There's the Country Crush Championships coming up in Dallas on the 24th as well. So that's coming. And then, I know King Kong's coming up in October. So check with people around you or anyone see if they're hosting, see what's going on.
I'm hosting my first this week.
You're hosting. What are you hosting?
Super Series Stage 2.
Oh, nice.
Yes, and then I know there's going to be a King Kong venue in Western New York. So if you're in Ontario or Western New York or New York in general, there aren't that many. So reach out to us, myself, and I'll be hosting one this weekend. So I'm pretty excited. We have only a few people, but it counts and it's a start. So
Yeah, that's good.
yeah.
Well, that's part of what I'm hoping to accomplish with the site I'm making is like, people can go on there and they can enter themselves as a lifter and say, hey, this is where I am, so that other people can find it. They'll have their their details. They'll have IG. If they want to provide email, they can. Like whatever contact you want to provide, you can. You don't have to provide it, but it'll at least say, hey, here's people in your your city, your city or your province or state or your country in general. And then there'll be a page for like gyms that might want to be affiliated with it. There'll be a page for events that are upcoming. And it'll all be like user entered and stuff like that for now, where it's like, hey, if you've got an event or you're hosting a stage for the Super Series or whatever, you don't see it on the arm lifting site, you can have it posted in here. And then this can kind of be a one-stop shop for people to see, what's around them and get better connected with the sport and with what's going on in their area. So, hopefully we can make that a thing, and hopefully there's enough interest that people want to actually put their stuff out there and make it more accessible for other people. So we'll see.
Kwai, as far as your upcoming contests go, you have Super Series next week, and then at the very end of the month, you have a strongman show, correct?
Yeah, strongman show up in Grand Prairie.
What events are going to be in that one? Are you worried about anything in particular?
No, it's going to be a pretty good contest. The reason I chose this one is because there's no yoke, and that's how I injured myself. So.
Yeah.
A little scary, but yeah. So it's
so you're an egg whites only kind of guy.
Hey,
you're an egg whites only kind of guy. No yoke. Sorry, the egg yolk. Anyway, sorry.
Didn't land.
That's okay.
That's some kind of American joke.
Yeah, we eat eggs here. Anyway, sorry. Continue.
No.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be good. There's axle press, truck pull. Carry, lift, whatever, some sort of medley, which ends in a grip lift. So,
cool. So you'll take that one?
Well, I hope.
Yeah.
We'll see, I guess. There's a lot of people out there that we just don't know, right? So
yeah,
exactly. And as soon as they show up, or like I said, it's growing, and the people at the top won't stay there forever. So I think it's exciting as far as our sport's concerned, and everybody has to keep pushing. And yeah. So is there anything else you would like to let people know about you, or is there anything else you wanted to discuss?
No, I mean, I'm just here for the good times. You know what I mean? I'm not
Us
a very yeah, good. No, I'm definitely always available if anyone wants to ask questions, chat, whatever. Just hit me up on Instagram or whatever. In person, it's a bit harder, because just for reasons.
Yeah.
I don't like talking to people in person sometimes, but for not personal reasons. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nice.
I'm shy at first, so I get the whole like when people come up to me in person and it's like, oh, okay, I know I'm this clown online, but like in person, I'm a little not standoffish, but like definitely shy at first. Like I need to have like a connection in order to build a comfortable conversation. So, and especially like competing wise, you never know, like if somebody's in the zone or if somebody is ready to have a chat. So no, as long as you're accessible online, and anyone that has any follow-up questions or wants to know more about you, you can find him. We will tag him to our stories after the episode, of course, if you're not already following along. And
Strongman Kwai at on Instagram.
Yeah, and I mean, that's all the questions I had and the questions from our audience. So we appreciate chatting with you, and thank you for joining us.
No, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me, and thanks everyone for your questions. They were good questions. I had a great time,
Nice. We did
All
too.
right.
and I'll see some of you hopefully in October.
Yeah, I'm hoping to make the trip myself. If I can make it work financially, just these hotel rooms are the most expensive part because these Vegas fees that come out of nowhere. I wasn't not a Vegas kind of person, but wasn't aware
Have you
of all
tried
that.
getting really good at cards and then seeing if they would just comp you when you get there?
I mean, I
That's
am.
I would have to play
Yeah.
to play, pay to play, whatever that phrase is, and I don't like to gamble unless it's football.
Well,
Like prop bets and stuff like that.
only doing yourself a disservice, I guess, then, because
All right. So Will's advice is to gamble my way to the Olympia.
Yes.
Everyone heard it.
my
Okay.
advice for anything in life
You
is
should.
just gamble.
You should do that. You know what? The last time I was in Vegas, I came out on top.
Hey,
I'm a pretty okay amateur poker player. So
there you go. That's good. I have watched several card counting movies, and therefore, I think that I've got
I'm
it down
not
to a
an
science.
expert.
Yes, I've never tried it per se. However, I feel confident that.
What year did you graduate MIT, Will?
Well, I never graduated. I was just the janitor. So, yeah.
You just did the
you-
math
Good-
after all the
Goodwill Hunting.
Oh, I got
It's
it.
me. It's me.
Oh yes, Will. It was based on
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, I try not to advertise that too much. But
A lot younger, but yes, okay.
yes, I was a child janitor. Child labor laws are not a thing. So it was fine. Sorry, I just going to go down a rabbit hole if we don't end it. But yeah.
As we do.
Yeah. Yeah. So okay. I don't even know if there was a point to that.
Well, we were
Card
talking
counting.
about
Olympia.
Olympia.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he was
There
going
it
to
is.
see any of us, and then I went off
Yes.
on a tangent, and that's how we do things. So now, yeah, what's your favorite rabbit hole to go down? I'm kidding. All of them.
I have ADHD, so it's really easy.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're following along just fine.
Oh yeah.
Good deal.
Will sent me a Australian breakdancing video from the Olympics,
Yeah,
and then I went down a rabbit hole of watching other breakdancing in the Olympics because unfortunately I haven't seen any of it live,
didn't know
but
that
I've
was
seen
an
all of the
Olympic thing.
memes.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
It's the first and last time. I guess it's not going to be at the LA ones in 4 years. So
Well, that seems like a
Well, sad.
mistake.
Some of them
Yeah.
was really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
some of them were good,
Some of
but
it was-
some of them were so bad that it's.
That one,
I can see
that
why
one I
it's
saw
not
was
going to be
really-
a thing.
The Australians are not known for their breakdancing. However, I feel like in LA,
they are now.
Yeah, they are now. Yeah, unfortunately, they are now. Yeah. So sorry for that.
All right. Well, anyone, if you are hosting or competing in Super Series Stage 2, we wish you the best of luck. If you guys are planning on doing the Olympia or King Kong, obviously you will see one or all three of us. And
Oh,
yeah.
and there's the Grip Sport Latino Classic. If you are in South America, somehow listening. Besides Pancho, if there's anybody that listens to it, the Grip Sport Latino Classic is I think next weekend also. So more grip all around the world.
Nice.
Grabber Gang Global.
Nice.
All right, gang.
All right. Well, good times until the next one.
Bye.
See ya.